Howdy, folks. I'm Charlie, the clairvoyant chimney sweeper.
I'm Amber.
And here's some more chimney sweeping.
I really want this to be a story now. After you write your other books, you have to write about Charlie, the clairvoyant chimney sweep.
All right, folks. Our Sunday morning letter this morning is titled, Am I a jerk for arguing with my wife for ordering takeout when we were expecting guests? I had some guests a few days ago, and my wife and I agreed that she would cook dinner. She's a stay-at-home mom while I work full-time. There was no issue since she does this all the time and she handles the cooking for guests. I was out all day that day and I came home half an hour before the guests arrived. I saw that my wife had everything ready. The guests came and after that they left. I was shocked when my wife told me that she didn't cook. She told me not to freak out because she had ordered takeout from the restaurant and set everything up to look as though she had cooked. I asked why she didn't cook since we agreed on that, but she said that it had taken more time than she expected with the cleaning and got stuck in traffic while shopping for the necessities. I told her that this was not okay and that those guests were expecting homemade meals and would have probably figured out that it was takeout food from the restaurant and felt awkward. She got agitated and started arguing and calling me negative and unappreciative. I responded that I didn't like how she basically deceived me and the guests and wasn't being honest. She said that she thought that she did her best to not make me look bad in front of the guests and that I was being ridiculous to argue about her solution. We went back and forth on this, and she started cold shouldering me for days. All right, folks, what do you think? Jerk or not the jerk?
Yes, you're the jerk. First of all, if you can't even tell it's takeout, then why do you think your guests are all of a sudden going to make it? Secondly, no one, even when people are guests, they're not owed home-cooked food. There's nothing wrong with using takeout. Third, if it's so important that your guests have a home-cooked meal, then you need to do it yourself.
Well, I mean, I can certainly understand her saying being a stay-at-home mom and wanting to cook and provide a meal, but she told you what her limits were. She told you that it just wasn't going to be possible within the amount of time. She got stuck in traffic and other things came up, and that's just sometimes how life is. And you can't just expect her to magic a meal into existence. Would you rather have not had food on time, or would you have rather her ordered takeout and actually gotten it there on time? And certainly being a house manager, she had some decisions to make. She had to either decide to do takeout or she had to decide to let the guests go hungry when they arrived. And she made, I think, the decision that she felt was best. And I think that getting on her case for how she managed the situation is in pretty poor form.
Yeah, and it's very frustrating that he seems so unconcerned about all the trouble she went to make this happen.
Yeah.
Like you were saying, she did the best she could with the situation because sometimes things do go awry. The best laid plans, can go wrong. And to just, instead of being like, oh, well, thank you for still making sure the guests had food, to just lay into her like, how could you have magically not known that there was going to be traffic?
Yeah. And I just think that OP needs to grow up a little bit here. This is a situation where it seems like it was largely outside of her control. I could understand more frustration on his part if she had been sitting around, playing video games all day, and then the house was a horrifying wreck, and then he's like, I thought we were going to make dinner and the house ready for the guests.
Well, I'm a little concerned about other aspects of their relationship too, but the fact that she had to be like, don't freak out, but I made takeout, makes me concerned for how he treats her generally.
Yeah, that is a little bit concerning there. I was kind of assuming in the back of my head that she was saying, oh, when you look at the statements, online bank statements, I ordered a bunch of food from a restaurant. That's kind of what I interpret that as, but that actually could be interpreted, in a more reactive way. Maybe he reacts poorly to finding things out.
And the whole also her whole thing about I made sure you didn't look bad. It sounds like he's very image obsessed.
Yeah.
And that's, or image conscious at least, and that I don't know. I'm a little worried about other things in this relationship.
Yeah, there are some problematic things here, it seems. So there could be deeper issues at play. So I think you need to be more appreciative of your wife's efforts. Plain and simple. Anyhow, take care and good luck. All right, folks, it is tea time. Grab your beverages of choice. I've got some coffee right here, and Amber, she's got a joke.
Why did the guy get fired from the calendar factory?
Well, actually, I know why the guy got fired from a calendar factory. It's a very inappropriate story. But I'll try to make it YouTube safe and friendly here. So there's a guy, we'll call him Bill because that's a good name, right? Pretty anonymous. Bill worked at the calendar factory, and every single day he would stamp on the dates, right? And he just got fed up with stamping the dates on, and so he just decided to change the calendar's dates to inappropriate numbers. And you might ask, how are there inappropriate numbers? There are, trust me. And so that's why he got fired from the calendar factory, is because he just got tired and started misbehaving, and pretty awful. People were lost for weeks, months, and years because of his shenanigans. When they got the calendars, they're like, it's February 2030. And that's weird. Like 2030, right? That's the date. That's literally the day of the month. So very confusing, since 28 days is usually February, but you know.
He took a day off.
Well, I mean, he also added a bunch too. And like I said, I have coffee. All right, folks, that's all the time we have for today. Happy Sunday morning special. And of course, what makes it special? You do. Amber, I need some moral guidance, and please have it involve at least one chimney sweep who's clairvoyant.
You don't have to be a clairvoyant chimney sweep to know that Opie in the first story is misbehaving. He should appreciate his wife's efforts.
Yeah, that's a moral. That's a moral. Thanks so much for watching, and we will see you all tomorrow.
Bye.